Welcome back to Pentiment, dear friends and deep thinkers, to our historical role play. We've just arrived at the Abbey, and we've met quite a lot of people. Among them, a very interesting noble. And now we're trying to find out more about our job at the Abbey. And yeah, they want to see us at the scriptorium, and maybe we should get there as quickly as we can. Let's see, there's the cloister. So let's enter the cloister. Let's not lose time. We wanted to get advance money, but we didn't get it so far. So there's infirmary, the chapter house, the loquarium, a large garden. I want to see everything, but we have to hurry up. We have to work otherwise. Oh, who's that? Hey there. God give you health, Master Marla. It's Sebhat. Brother Sebhat, I'm surprised to see you still here. As am I, but I will be leaving soon, returning to Rome. I and my bishop regret that we could not reciprocate Father Rodulf's generosity earlier. He showed much kindness to our priests at the Council of Constance many years ago. Constance. Meeting of bishops that took place between 1414 and 1418 in the Diocese of Constance to end the papal schism. It was also notable for the condemnation and capture of the Bohemian theologian Jan Hus. He was burned, by the way. It was one of the cruelest things, and there's still some monuments reminding us of his fate in Constance. Will you remain in Rome? Yeah, I know. Rome is still the seat of power. Yeah, that is up to my bishop, but I will miss these mountains in any case. You should travel to Ethiopia, Master Marla, and see the highlands. Oh, he's an Ethiopian Christian. Wow, if you've ever played like EU4 something, you know about these Ethiopian Christians. Very long and precious traditions. God has blessed my home with a wondrous beauty. I would love to someday. I still need to return to Nuremberg and open my workshop. Yes, someday. Until then, if you're ever in Rome, I may still be around, says Sebhat. I would like that. Sebhat, by the way, if you have some time in the next few days, it would be nice to share a meal with you and some of the townsfolk. The townsfolk? I am accustomed to strange looks, especially in rural places like these, but I have had kind words with a baker and his wife. Oh yes, we say, the Albans, Ulrich and Gret. Let's have a look. Do they look? Yeah, I mean, Gret looks nice. Ulrich looks a little bit grumpy. I offered to tell a story to the children and their mothers over a meal someday. Gret seemed excited about the idea, but I would be more comfortable if you were there as well. Yeah, I would love to do that. I can certainly make time. Thank you, Andreas. I look forward to it. God give you health. What a nice man. There's a church here. There's the dormitory where they sleep. There's the cemetery, the kitchen and cellar. But where? Refectory where they eat. The lavatorium where they wash each other. The large garden. Is there a map? There must be a map, right? Give me the map. So where do we have to go? We need to go to the scriptorium. So we should probably not walk through the dormitory, even though no one should sleep there at the moment. We should go through the church. And then through the sacristy, through the Old Bailey to the scriptorium, right? That would be probably the bit. Can we even leave there? I'm unsure. I think we have to go through the cemetery and then through the Old Bailey and into the scriptorium. Yeah, that's probably the only polite way to get there. Okay, let's get to the scriptorium then. Here we go. Sebhat? Wait, there's a kitchen and cellar. Oh no, the cemetery was here, right? Yeah. To the cemetery. No, what a dreary place. The apple trees have only started to bloom. It will be months before they bear fruit. Interesting. Wow, that is... that's looking interesting to say. Oh, look at that. What can we find out here? There's the animal pens. A monument to the founder of the abbey. It's fairly recent. The funds were donated by her descendants. Oh, okay. Whoa. That's pretty detailed. What can we find here? Not that much. Let's go into the Old Bailey. There's the scriptorium, and there is also the scriptorium, and there's the prior's house. Yeah. Let's get into the scriptorium. Why not? Let's see what we can get. There's something going on here. Hey, Goy. Good day, Andreas. How's your morning going, Brother Goy? It's fine. More contracts for the abbot. Which would you rather be making, contracts or manuscripts? I honestly don't care, Andreas. As long as the abbot is impressed, he could have me write the first chapter of Genesis until Judgment Day. True career clergy. Does the abbot's opinion mean that much to you? The abbots and the priors, both, says Goy. You're lucky. When you're done with this, you're going home, he says. I'm never going to see Burgundy again. I need to make the best of the next 40 years. Oh, a powerful former duchy of eastern France that became a province in 1477, known for its wine, art, monasteries, and courtly fashion. Yeah, Burgundian wine is world-renowned. Then I'll leave you to it. Yeah, so he wants to make nice because he'll be here for the next 40 years. Oh, that's also relatively wise. What about this guy? God bless you, Andreas, says Edok. How are you feeling today, Brother Edok? Oh, Mill. Oh, Mill? That's easy. I am well. Well done, my son. It is early. I will give you a harder one later. Ah, he's speaking in riddles. I look forward to all of your anagrams, Brother Edok. Literal not. What? Yes, until then. Oh God, I'm not so good at these. English not my mother tongue. And who is this one? Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. And Edok says, I don't like this weather. My bones ache. It means a storm is coming. Andreas Big Jorg Gärtner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Yeah, that's Big Jorg. We've talked to him in the last episode. Brother Edok here has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming, says Goy. Do not forget, Brother Goy, the fate of the youth who jeered the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Mauled by bears, weren't they? Because we are theologian. She-bears, Piero says. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Edok, says Goy? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord in his ineffable wisdom may choose to strike down. Yeah, I mean, Goy is a little bit mean. Brother Goy, please show more respect to Brother Edok. You're being mean-spirited. Stay out of this, Andreas. The old fart can defend himself well enough. I need no defense against the likes of you. God protects his faithful against the iniquitous, says Edok. Andreas, well, everyone seems quite lively. I suppose that means Prior Ferenc is not overseeing us today. Guy says he was here, but then he heard Lawrence Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Can we get more info about him? No, just this. Just his looks. Ferenc is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel, it's pathetic. And yeah, Guy does that himself, right? Doc, you feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful, says Edok. Piero, oh no, Baron Rothvogel. His manuscript. I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me, of course, that's why he's visiting. He's working on the manuscript. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits, says Guy. Who likes someone like Guy? But we got one over him, so let's stay neutral. What's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like anyone else. Andreas, says Edok. Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising. Freising is another Bavarian town. Religious and secular ruler of scattered territories in the Holy Roman Empire, including the lands containing Tussing and Kiersau Abbey. So, Kiersau is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. We say, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Seizing the moment. Oh, that's right, I need to reference the Indermauer manuscript. Indermauer is a prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. Where do we go now? Knock knock, who's there? It's Stenna. What do you want, Andreas? We say a book in the Indermauer manuscript, the Book of Hours. Your hair looks messy today, says Stenna. Did you get enough sleep? Well, a little bit of chit-chat, why not? No one's watching us, right? What do you mean? Stenna, I mean, did you sleep alone? Or... Why do you want to know, says Andreas. It would be nice to have something to think about during divine readings, says Stenna. Okay, that's what she thinks about. Divine reading, the Lectio Divina, the divine lecture, is the thoughtful reading of and meditation on Scripture. The practice leads to prayer and contemplation. It's a daily part of life in Benedictine communities, but she wants something more fruity. Could I just get the book? That's all that way upstairs, says Dina. Can't you get by without it? Let's stay polite. I'm sorry, but I really can't. I need to reference it for my work. Really, says, my feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminata to get it. That's Illuminata. She looks a little bit more pious. Sister Illuminata. Yeah, we already had her. Okay. Andreas needs help finding a book, and I don't know where it is. Oh God, she's lying already. Andreas, says Illuminata. Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Indermauer manuscript. The Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. Oh, sweet. We got it. We got the book. We can work. Let's work a bit. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Says Piero. Of course, your opinion is always welcome. Yes, the composition is lovely. There is a joyful spirit in your arrangement of the figures. Let's see. Are they joyful? I don't know. The contrast of colors is also quite nice. That's true. I mean, the blue and the yellow. Rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. It doesn't feel right. I don't know why. Would we want to say that? I mean, we're still working on it, and we wanted a book to reference. I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work, says Piero. What do you mean? It's all my work. My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indamauer manuscript almost exactly. So what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved on it? Aesthetically, yes, it is wonderful, but I feel you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. In November we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage on acorns before the slaughter. That's still done in some parts of Germany. And yeah, basically you lead the pigs to let them eat acorns and they become extra fat on that. And it's also good for the woods if you don't do it constantly. Piero? Oh, Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it, even Father Gernot. Because they wanted to hunt more in the forests, probably. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is, says Piero. Okay, he wants us to do something of our time, not of times past. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form. These images illuminate a path to truth, says Piero. It's most important to me that my clients are happy. They won't pay me for truth, says Andreas. Yeah, truth doesn't pay well, often, but sometimes it pays very well. Yes, but with God's grace, this book of ours will outlive us all, says Piero. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond our comprehension? Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? Oh, he looks beyond. He's a philosopher. But you need not listen to my opinions. They're just the thoughts of one old monk. There's no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Why is that? Why has Kirsau kept this up for so long? Piero. Some people, some places have a difficult time letting go of the past. I am not among them. He can let go of the past. The creation of books, of art, is no longer the province of monasteries. So be it. More people will be able to write more, will be able to read, and in so doing be brought to truth, says Piero. And what do we say to that? I think there will always be a place for artists like you and Brother Edok. Guy, it's just... And Brother Gui. It's kind of you to say so, Andreas, but you need not be concerned for me, says Piero. I have lived a long life, and am happy to have served the Lord. When he calls for me, I am ready. Well, we've worked quite a lot. We should have come far. I'm going to the refectorium. to eat. Wow, Edok is truly slow. Ah, where has the time gone? It is already terse. The monastic hour corresponding to 9 a.m., one of the little hours of prayer. First precedes Mass and the chapter meeting. Okay. Too much talk. I must ask forgiveness for not honoring the rule, which is the time plan. The Rule of St. Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, so quite a long time ago now, 900 years, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. So, until later, Andreas. Until later. He's just a jolly old man, right? And very thoughtful. But what will we do? We'll stretch. Plonk. We dropped some. Who is that? What is he doing? What does he have there? Is that an astronomical disc? He's noting something down? What was that? What did he just do there? And why did he do it when everyone was Illuminata? What's going on in here? Yeah, let's talk to her. The thing to do. Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. But then Prior Ferenc came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't think he even noticed me. Illuminata. He was slamming books shut? Prior Ferenc should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate. I fully agree. Delicate or not, all books should be treated with the utmost care. Yeah, that's what we think as a bookworm. Many contain precious wisdom, says Illuminata, that can aid even the unenlightened in growing closer to God. They should be protected and cared for, which is why books should not be taken out of the library, unless it is necessary for the divine reading or the work in the scriptorium. We answer to her. Oh, we've borrowed a book from her, the Chronica Clara. What is that? The Clear Chronicle, a history of the universe from creation to 1082, written by the Irish monk Marianus Scotus. Yeah, chronicles were something really creative back then. Chronicles have developed so crazily. It's super. Are you still mad at me for borrowing the Chronica Clara, Illuminata? She says no, anger is not an appropriate response for a nun. But the fact remains that you tricked me into giving you that book for no valid reason. We answer, not valid. Is it not valid to want to see the work of one of the great Irish scribes? One who wrote masterworks that even now grace libraries at Cologne, Fulda and Mainz. All of them very important cities in old Germany. Normally elector cities. There's just a lot. An elector of the holy and so on. And Cologne, a popular site for pilgrims. Its cathedral contains relics of the three wise men represented as crowns on their arms. And she answers, no, it's not unless it pertains to your work or the abbot permits it. Now, if you'll excuse me. Andreas says, wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? And she answers, Lawrence? I didn't know you were familiar enough with a man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years, and he paid enough to help the abbey when we needed it. Andreas says, like what? What did he buy? Illuminata, I can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course, I'll help in any way I can. Yeah, we need to help her. She's a valuable ally, I feel. And we cannot access something behind this door, I feel, too. So we answer her, of course. I'll help in any way I can. Illuminata answers, thank you. It's for the good of the Abbey. Where should I begin, we ask. Out there, Illuminata says, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books around the scriptorium. I will tell you what books I'm looking for. Find them and return them to me. The first books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid. That's a very old book. A poetic epic telling the legend of Aeneas, a heroic Trojan who struggles to reconcile his personal desires with his destiny to found Rome. It was written in the 1st century before Christ by the Roman poet Virgil. Reddish covers, 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Piero's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. Reddish covers. Okay. Illuminata says they are not his to keep. Here they are. There's a fair amount of wear on these. I hope you don't mind. Can we read that now? Because that's Latin, and we have... Oh, look at them. What are they doing here? Oh my god, she's burning. After she lay down this man, she's now burning. Everyone's crying. Is that what this is about? And this is the ferry to the underworld? What does she say? Those volumes were old even when Piero started to make the copies. Andreas, how long ago was that? 3 years, Illuminata, she says. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite stories, but I understand why it appeals to Piero, Illuminata says. Oh, she's joining the story. Illuminata, Aeneas chose his duty to the gods over his lover Dido. And she doesn't like that. Italiam non sponte sequor. We can quote Latin. Ha ha ha. I do not go to Italy willingly, he said. I did not make you for a scholar of Roman poetry, Andreas, she says. The words sit easily in my memory. I'm not sure why. Probably out of love rather than duty, says Illuminata. Oh, she has probably some she has some secret, right? Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Piero? Illuminata, we all have our vocations. Brother Piero takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. Andreas, you clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. Illuminata, Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation. Few women do. Andreas. Yeah, I mean, we're totally the bookworm. True, but that doesn't mean women can't take pride in their vocations. In the City of Ladies, Christine de Pizan defended women of all classes by showing their value to society. Oh, what is that? One of the most renowned female authors of Western Europe, Christine was a court writer for 3 dukes. She's well known for the book of the City of Ladies and the treasure of the City of Ladies, works that defended women and offered advice to women of all backgrounds. Wow. This will be remembered. Illuminata, an admirable effort, but even if we do exactly as we are told, we are portrayed as vehicles of sin. Yeah, in Aeneas, that is true. And she's burning here. Temptresses and seducers by virtue of our sex, even when men are the aggressors, she says. Even in the abbey we must travel in pairs, lest we tempt the brothers or others. And here in these pages Virgil casts Dido as Aeneas' seducer, though it was the gods that thrust her into his arms. Like Dido, we ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonists of our own stories, she says. No woman is exempt from that, from the empress to a nun. It is our lot. Andreas, I suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. Illuminata, it's fine poetry for men. Now the books, if you please. Yeah, let's hand to the books. Thank you, Illuminata says. Next, Wretched Gerin. This is a printed copy, green cover diamond pattern. That's an Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea de Barberino in the early 15th century. The titular character rises from impoverished origins to go on heroic adventures and discover his noble parentage. Originally published as a manuscript, it enjoyed greater success as a printed book. Wow, so it will only become popular later. Green cover diamond pattern. I do not have the size in the ledger, but hopefully this description is enough. Andreas, I know the one you're talking about. Brother Adok was reading it. Yeah, that's him. The very old one. Let's see. Do we have that? Is that here? No, it seems to be here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's Italian. The one before was Latin. What do we say? The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. We don't, Illuminata says. It belongs to Amadea Rusco of Lugano. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. So Lugano, that's a highly contested Swiss market town, located in the southwestern Alps, because Switzerland has usually 3 languages, Swiss, and so that's some kind of Switzerland German, if you want so, but it's very definitively Swiss, and they have also some Swiss French, and they have Swiss Italian. There's probably even some more languages in there, but that's the main ones. Highly contested Swiss market town located in the southwestern Alps. The Dukes of Como and Milan fought for control over it until it was claimed by the Swiss Confederation in 1513. So very, very closely. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. So everything happens around us. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. Illuminata says that book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. Yeah, there's some heroics in there. Illuminata. A baby is sold to pirates, raised a servant, then lives a life of adventure, wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. Andreas, you forgot the best part. In the end, Gerin learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? So crass, right? Illuminata. Benedictines should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. Andreas. We have the theologian answer, so why not? Redemption will still be waiting for them when they put down the book. And we think that. We think that too. Yes, always, Illuminata that says, but they still must choose redemption. Should we go on sinning? So grace will increase, of course not. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women. Andreas, sometimes yes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? Illuminata, to die better than we are born. So to improve. Andreas, and what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? Illuminata, there is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. So you don't have to think too highly. What can we say to that? Paul's words can be hard to recall when you're suffering because of your station in life, and yet Paul says that women must obey men. Even the Gospels can't free us from the bondage of our place in life. We may be one in Christ, but we're not equal in this world. And that's the truth. But let's better avoid it with her. She's getting a hard time. Paul's words can be hard to recall when you're suffering because of your station in life. Yeah, we must be on her better side. Illuminata, that is exactly when his words are most needed. But the book, Andreas, we must return it. Or would you like the abbot to receive a fourth letter? And we as a bookworm understand. I'd hate to loan a book and never get it back. It would be like losing a limb. Well, perhaps a small limb or my little finger. Illuminata, regardless of the size and importance of the body part in question, I understand and appreciate it. It's not my goal to deprive the brothers of their joy, but to return Amadea Rusco's property. The book, please. And it's about helping a woman, right? That's because this is another one of these examples. So let's bring it to her at once. Hey, Illuminata. There's only one book left. Then you will be freed from bondage. Bondage? A dark red cover. 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. Let's ask about that. What is it? The description should be sufficient. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to tell. I don't know why you won't tell me, but all right, I'll find it. So, what is that book? Âme touchée par Dieu et dépouillée. Now that I think about it, Gouy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Well, that's Old French. It's about de la grâce est montée par les grâces divines au septième état. La grâce état. That's only the preamble. That's about amour. Amour. Ah, you might know amour. And it's so much about amour. Des prodiges, the wonders de l'amour, of love pure, de l'amour noble et de l'amour élevé, de l'âme libérée. Oh, it's about all kinds of love. What do we know about Gouy? Yeah, that's him. Interesting. Very good. Please bring it here. Is that maybe the contact Gouy has with Illuminata? Maybe that's too much. Very good. Please bring it here. What is this anyway, we say? Ah, it's in French. Those soul that God touched empty of sin in the first state of grace. Yeah, that's the preamble here. What is this, we ask. Illuminata, why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. Yeah, she has something with Gouy, probably, eh? And we are a bookworm, we also want to know. I'm sorry, but I just love books too much to let this go without knowing what it is. Illuminata, curiosity can be a dangerous thing, Andreas, especially in a place like this. 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. What? Why, we say. I don't know, Illuminata says, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. Andreas, so the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? Let's see, there's more that we can read here. En grande diligence. Yeah. So diligently. Maintenant comprenez avec humilité un exemple simple. So they're giving an example. Emprunté à l'amour mondain. So that's the worldly love. Et appliquer le parallèlement à l'amour divin. So they're comparing worldly love with holy love, so the love of God with, corporeal love. So the book is dangerous, Andreas says. When did the bishops condemn it? She's rising, and we're rising as well. That's better. Wow. 200 years ago, says Illuminata. 200 years ago? What? Why is it still here? Andreas says. Because Father Matthias loved books. All books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. Matthias. It all comes together with Matthias. And why did he have to die? But we're a bookworm. And he was right to do so. Books shouldn't be destroyed, even if their content is in question. Illuminata says, the Holy Church does not share your opinion. It is their law we must contend with, not your emotions. We'll fume silent. We cannot say the Church was wrong. She's a nun. We'll just fume silently. It is not my place to question, says Illuminata, the former abbot's decision, but when Father Gernot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. And yeah, we want to keep the book, right? We're a bookworm. So must the book be destroyed? No one even knows that it's here. Illuminata says, I do. So do Mother Cecilia and Father Gernot. So Mother, that's her. So, okay. So it's a cloister, it's a monastery, it's both, right? It's for monks and nuns. And they have both their superiors in there. What do we say? Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. Illuminata, what? Why not? What are you going to do with it? We'll not joke about this. She's too... Yeah, she's not jokish. I'm not sure I'll hide it. I'll keep it safe. Illuminata says, give me that book or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rothvogel. But we could say that we bring the book away and she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. So it's destroyed in a way. I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the abbey, far away. I'll be gone by the time Father Gernot asks about it, and if you like you can say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. Illuminata says, I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart. Andreas says, I swear I'll take it far away. It's been out here for years, and besides, how could you have stopped me? We say to Illuminata. And because we helped her, she lets us keep it. I'm trusting you with this, Andreas, says Illuminata. Against my better judgment, don't make me regret this. We saved the book. Okay. Oh, we can still talk to her. Now then, Baron Rothvogel. Quickly, though, I need to finish up here soon. Quickly, so we may only have... She may only have time to answer one question, so I should choose carefully. I want the scandalous details. He mentioned finding a copy of Historia Tassiae. He said it had some scandalous details in it. He also mentioned that Father Matthias had a copy and was looking for another to verify its contents. Do you know anything about the book? Yeah, we're a bookworm. Illuminata, I've heard of it, but I've never read it, and I know little about its contents. The subject is broad, but I believe the book deals specifically with the Roman occupation of this land. What do you know? No, what about that could have upset Father Matthias so much? We want to dive deeper into this. Illuminata, I can't claim any deep insights into the former abbot's mind, but he won't destroy the books. I understood him to be a virtuous and charitable man, sometimes to a fault. It's not always best when an abbot considers himself a friend to his brothers instead of their shepherd. Okay, he might have hid something. Could something in the book have led Father Matthias to a crisis of virtue? Illuminata, virtue is only found in crisis. Without it, virtues are little more than ideals. So perhaps there is merit in that idea. Okay. I found something really shocking there. Well, I must be off to the Mass. Thank you again for your help, Andreas. Wait. Andreas says, how will you get to the church if you can't enter the scriptorium? I thought this was the only door into the library. Illuminata, we are standing in the oldest part of the abbey, and like any old place, it has its share of secrets. Good day, Andreas. God be with you. So we could enter this. It's time to eat for the monks. That's the bell for sixth. The 6th hour. The brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. I should see if Ottio is around and still wants to eat with me. I think he's working by the guest house below the abbey. Dinner with Otto and Andreas. That's on our agenda. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. But maybe we can... What is in there? I want to see. I wonder what Prior Ferenc was doing with this book. From the library of the University of Five Churches, the Hungarians call it Pech. That's where Ferenc is from. Doctor of Theology, Georg of Gran. Is that a friend of his? What do we see here? Propter quasundam libsosum. That's not really... the Speculum Astronomiae. Albertus Magnus' Defense of Astrology. Oh, renowned 13th century Dominican theologian, philosopher, astrologer, and Bishop of Regensburg. Prolific writer, he was known primarily for his work on Aristotle and his knowledge of natural science. Yeah, he was a giant in these times. Can we? Bastard script. Burgundian, Flemish, not from here, not recently. We were in the Flemish lands. Let's see, what does he write here? That's definitely Ferenc's handwriting between the lines and in the margins. Is he not hitting the text for the benefit of future readers? In any case, it's a thorough commentary. And what's this? What's this? It looks scribbled. Not like Ferenc to be so sloppy. And he didn't even blot the ink dry. It looks like Greek letters read. Libra, Capricorn, Aries, all astrological symbols. What's written below? Maybe I should have learned Greek at some point. I can't make any sense of this. I suppose I'll figure it out in due time, but I'll copy this all down to reference later. Interesting. There's the Old Bailey. Let's use the other door this time. I could see the church. We could also go through the dormitory. Or through the cemetery, like we came in. And maybe let's use another way this time. Yeah, we're in the dormitory, okay. And that's the way to the church. There's something we can see here? No? Someone has left his... Okay. Okay. The kitchen and cellar. Is Brother Sebert still there? No. Large garden. Chapter house. Let's look out. We're here. We could go to the convent garden, or to the large garden, and from there through the abbot house. If we can even access that. That's the question. We should probably leave through here to the convent garden or something. Let's just see. Maybe it's really that way. Yeah, it seems like. And going down here. Okay. When we change the scene, the game saves. Hey man, how are you doing? Go away, Andreas. Can't you see I'm busy? Martin says. Not really. What are you doing? Mind your own business. I'm only curious, and curiosity is a virtue. You're nothing but a snoop and windbag. Piss off, he says. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Wow. That's really unfriendly. What does he have in his hands there? I don't know. Is that keys or something? Anyways, thank you for watching. Happy gaming to you. Before we get into this conversation with them, probably, or this eating, I need to make a pause, and we will see. We'll see us in the next episode very soon. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. I hope you have enjoyed this medieval adventure. We'll come back to it as soon as we can. Find out more about what's going on there, why Martin is maybe eavesdropping, and who these two men here are really. Have a great time until next time. Happy gaming. See you soon.